Oh hi, welcome back to Gattsy on Goosebumps, the show in which I review every single Goosebumps book from R.L. Stine's original series. And today we are taking an enchanting journey into a world of dark magic. But I'm not talking about Warner Brothers' latest hit film, Harry Potter and the Crimes of Grumpelwod. I'm talking about Goosebumps number 41, Bad Hair Day. I think Tim Jacobus missed the mark on this cover here. He's obviously told that a rabbit is central to the story and he just played that up as much as he could. But it's sort of, I don't know, besides this bunny, the rest of the cover is sort of kind of bland. Tagline is, "He's no Easter bunny." Front here it says, "Collect the series." That's a great selling point. You've just bought this book, kid. Keep buying them. Blurb reads as follows. Pick a scare. Any scare. Trick cards, floating scarves, disappearing doves. Tim Swanson loves magic tricks. Someday he wants to be a real magician, just like his all-time favorite hero, Amazo. But then Tim goes to Amazo's show and he finds out his idol is a total grump. That's when Tim decides to steal the bag of tricks. Amazo's bag of secret tricks, scary tricks. The one with the multiplying red balls and all those hissing snakes. Yeah. So Tim Swanson's obsessed with magic. He loves this magician called Amazo, and he can't wait to be like him one day. And he's always trying to do his best to put on magic shows, although they're often ruined by his bratty little sister, Ginny. Ginny's really quite annoying in this book, as she's meant to be, on par with Tara from Clock of Doom, similar trope of older brother, annoying, bratty little sister. So when he gets free tickets to Amazo's show, he sneaks out to go see it late at night because his parents won't let him go. But Ginny finds out and makes him take her with him. Anyway, he gets to watch some of Amazo's amazing magic tricks, and then he gets to volunteer to be on stage and put in this disappearing act. And he's really excited to be part of the trick, but then he he disappears in this trapdoor as part of the trick. And he's stuck in this basement of the nightclub for a really long time. And no one comes to help him. So he has to break out. He's kind of pissed off. He's like, well, that's a lot of thanks I get for being part of your trick, Amazo. And then he goes into Amazo's dressing room, and he's about to say something, and Amazo's like, "Beat it, punk," I think he says. Something harsh. He's like, "Beat it, punk." He doesn't see Amazo saying that, but he hears him say that, and he's like, "Oh, what a dick. I helped you with your trick. You left me, and now you're not even gonna talk to me?" And that's when, he sees the bag of magic tricks just next to the door. He's like, "Yep, taking this. Come on, Ginny. I'm stealing this. We're going home." Ginny's like, "Oh, I'm going to tell Mum and Dad if you don't share that box of magic tricks with me." He's like, "Oh, you're such a brat. Okay, fine." So they agree to look at it together. But he has a sneak peek, and he tries on Amazo's magic jacket, and all these snakes start coming out. They're filling the room. All these snakes. He's like, "Oh shit, snakes everywhere." And then they just stop, and it's they're just wind-up snakes. It's okay, it's not that scary, I guess. That's me saying it. He's pretty freaked out of it. I was like, dude, it's just wind-up snakes. Anyway, they invite their good friend Foz over on the weekend so they can go through the tricks together, and he's going through them. And one of those tricks, it's the shell game, where you put the ball in the shell and then move it around, and they have to guess which one it's under, but he's actually got the ball in his sleeve, and he's like, I'm gonna fool my sister and my friend with this trick, but the balls keep appearing. Actually, the balls keep multiplying, so they keep coming out of the shells. And he's really nonplussed about this. These balls keep appearing. It's this is a weird trick. I don't know how this is done. And so stuffs them all into this back into the case. And then this dove appears from the magic hat. Again, it's quite different to the wind-up snakes. The wind-up snakes, which were part of the same magic kit, were just wind-up snakes. This is literal magic, defying the laws of physics. And he's just like, I wonder how this trick works. I think Ginny takes a bite out of this magic carrot that's in the kit and turns into a rabbit. Got no idea what to do. He's like, all right, I have to go back to the nightclub, talk to Amazo about it. And he does. He sneaks in. Amazo's there. Or at least he thinks Amazo's there. He's talking to like Amazo who's got it back to him. Amazo's not saying anything. And then like, it turns out that Amazo there is actually just a dummy. So then who is doing the tricks? It turns out the rabbit's always on stage with Amazo is actually Amazo himself. Backstory for you. Amazo was a really good magician, and then a sorcerer called Frank, they played that up, that's a funny name for a sorcerer, was so jealous of him that he turned him into a rabbit. So then Amazo continued his magic shows, but using like a dummy as like a puppet. So like the rabbit's actually the magician, the person of Amazo is just a dummy. Amazo's actually in the rabbit. Yeah, odd. He's like, look, your sister's going to turn back eventually, like the carrot like wears off. Eventually she's going to turn back into a girl. But hey kid, you really like magic. I'm sorry I was such a grump to you before. How would you like to be part of my act? He's like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And he thinks he's going to take the place of the Amazo dummy. He thinks he's going to be the one doing the shows on stage. Actually, Amazo wanted him to take the rabbit's place. So it's not really explaining what the situation is at the end, but it ends with Tim's been turned into a rabbit, and that's his sort of role now. I don't know what Amazo does. Amazo is presumably also still a rabbit. So does he then control Tim, who then controls the dummy? It's sort of like a darkly comedic end. He's like, oh look, I'm so happy to be in showbiz. Which sums up my thoughts about the entire book. It's I never really remembered this one too fondly, and yeah, it makes sense. He could have had this really interesting dynamic where, you know, this amateur magician, Tim, is like obsessed with magic tricks, and then he gets exposed to like real magic, like stuff that you can't explain, stuff that is actually like magic, not just tricks, and him trying to resolve that. But instead, like I said, you've got the snakes, which you think are real magic, then turns out they just wind up. Okay, that's lame. But then like the multiplying red balls, that's got to be magic because it can't actually happen. So like either pick one or the other. And he's really like unfazed about it. It should be a big revelation. Like, Amazo's actually magic. These aren't just tricks. But he's just like, this ball trick works different to the way I know it. This is interesting. It's not a trick. It's obviously really magic. The whole thing about Amazo being like this foul-mouthed rabbit is kind of funny. Like, I get that works. But I don't know, the origin story of him being turned into like a sorcerer, it's similar with the origin story of the Haunted Mask about the sorcerer turning, what was it, faces into masks, or he created masks and they all turned ugly because of emotion. Some crap like that. And same with Monster Blood, that there's like this sorcerer that's also a cat that put a spell on somebody. When you employ like, I don't know, a dark wizard or a dark witch at the end of your book to wrap things up, it's a sign that you probably didn't think it out that well. So while I like the idea of Amazo being this bunny that's really rude and he's actually the magician, I think the ending is kind of, could be better, like he turns Tim into a rabbit, but then he's also still a rabbit. I don't know. It's not great. You can probably give Bad Hair Day a skip, to be perfectly honest. It doesn't have the magic touch. It will not leave you spellbound and thinking like magical buttons. It won't do the trick. But thank you so much for watching. Please join me next time, in which I discuss Goosebumps number 42, Egg Monsters from Mars. In the meantime though, please, stay spooky.